everyone, and welcome to another episode of North Sports Dynasty with your hosts, Alex Loosemore, to my...
By the way, there we go.
There we go. Technically to my left, but I'm pointing with my right. And I am your other host, Andrew Faubert. Alex, how are you feeling?
Oh, I'm fine. So, it's... I tested positive for COVID. I'm feeling fine. To me, I feel like I have a cold.
I hope you're okay.
Oh yeah, I'm fine. I'm chilling in an apartment by myself. Life's good.
Life's good.
Yeah, we're all good.
Good. Yeah. So my co-host here tested positive for COVID, and obviously we work together. And people are probably thinking, "Well, does that mean Andrew tested positive?" No, we're actually separated at work, probably for the better. They've done that on purpose. But so Alex, works in a different department than I do. He tested positive. I actually missed out on Friday at work. I was not feeling very well either, but it was more based on things coming out of me rectum. So it had nothing to do with COVID. But yeah, so when I heard about that, it was like, oh, crap, are you okay? And then it never got back to me. Obviously, I wasn't a close contact or anything like that. But yes, you have to stay home.
Yeah.
For a while, which is
2 weeks.
2 weeks. So, Alex is, if I don't put any content out and Alex just puts out all this content, you all
I
know
got
why.
all the time in the world. So.
Yeah. So today we're just going to be talking about the playoffs. We're going to update you guys on some Dynasty, do a little Dynasty talk because that's what the show is based about. And we have some new followers and some new likes. We've reached over 100 likes on our page, so we want to thank you, all the fans. Remember, you can also follow us on all social media platforms at me, Andrew_Faubert. Alex, where do they find you?
At Loosemore65.
And then, of course, just Andrew Faubert and Alex Loosemore on Facebook. Yeah. And then this show is available on Twitter. This is also available on Facebook, YouTube. Make sure to subscribe, like, and follow. Help us build this army of Canadians, Americans, Mexicanos, Europeanos, everyone in the world. We're all trying to make this nice, beautiful gathering of fans of all sports across the world. And we're just going to talk Dynasty when it comes to football. We're going to do mock drafts for every single league, basically the big four, until we get this really, really big, and then we'll start expanding into it.
Yeah.
And we'll get into more CFL stuff when that league actually starts coming back around.
Should be like 2 more months. We're almost there.
I'm still not. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's going to be interesting if we can't necessarily go. I can't hang out with you even if you didn't have COVID, but I can't go and hang out with you until flipping June here. So it is what it is. I'm okay with it. Before you get into the news, actually, hold on. Do you have any of that lightning stuff on your news?
No, I figured you were going to bring it up, so I just left it for you.
Good, because I'm going right into it here. I'm going to get right into it. I've been saving this up, and I know that they did right. Oh, Pretty Lady brought me a coffee. Thank you very much, Pretty Lady. I'll make sure I don't knock over my coffee. There we go. I'm going to take a nice sip of this before I get right into this rant. The Tampa Bay Lightning. Oh, you fucking piss me off. Not your fans. I love your fans. I'm actually deeply embedded into all of your fans now with Bucks Report, which you can catch me on the cheap seats tomorrow night. I just hosted one of their shows last night. It was awesome. Made me very nervous. Tank Spencer was on. Great guy. ESPN. There's a ESPN something 3 to 5. It's Atkinsville, I believe. Someone will correct me. But here's my thing. You Tampa Bay Lightning ownership is a fucking joke. You have had this amazing team built for you. Have had this amazing atmosphere built for you by my daddy. Okay? Our daddy.
Yeah.
Our daddy built your fucking culture. I don't want to hear your Martin St. Louis, Vincent Lecavalier, Dave Andrechuk, Brad Richards, and Nikolai Habibulin and company talk, okay? That's the old days. And if you want to get technical, all 6 of those Hall of Famers almost lost to 2 other Hall of Famers in a Jerome McGinley and Mika Kiprasov. There we go.
Yeah.
One ginger goalie and a half black man who is the best African-American player, arguably, in the NHL that we've ever seen, almost kicked your ass. And your culture was built on our daddy, our forefather, the guy who took out the great one in the St. Louis Blues that a lot of people forget even existed because we didn't let him get that far. He built your culture. He built your team. He changed your jerseys around and made you guys look relevant and actually scary. Now, all of a sudden, you decide for like 10 years here, we're just, we really don't like it when other jerseys come into our stadium, especially in the playoffs. Especially in the playoffs. We as Red Wing fans, about 5-6 years ago, our last little, hoorah, the playoff days with Hendrik Zetterberg and Pavel Datsyuk, Thomas Holmstrom, and Nicholas Kronwall. Yeah. Nicholas Kronwall being the major one. That game 6 expulsion where he's just kicked out for doing a Kronwall hit, bullshit. Yeah, absolute bullshit. But there was one thing that irritated me then, and it still irritated me to this day, that opposing fans were not allowed to come to your stadium and wear jerseys. You walk in, sit down for 10 minutes, your ticket's taken from you, and you're kicked out of the fucking game. That was bullshit. Absolute bullshit. And it's not on the fans. I'm going to state that every couple of minutes here in this rant. It is not on the fans. It is on ownership. The fans had not really any idea going on. And some of the hatred fans were like, yeah, get them out of the damn stadium. Fuck them. And the real fans, some of the fans that I know, say, hey, we got to be inclusive here. We want to build more fans here. Eventually, this culture is not going to be here. So if we can get the young guys to come in here, like these kids, and see this, we might be good. But instead, for some reason, this has existed until March 26th or May 26th of 2021. You made an 11-year-old, 11 or 7-year-old kid and his father were asked to take their fucking Florida Panther jerseys off and then asked to leave. Are you kidding me? In the middle of a pandemic, where this father, but I don't know if he's rich. I should have gotten a big backstory on it. We don't know if he's rich. We don't know if if he just scrambles by. But let's just say he's me for a little bit. I don't just scramble by. I'm okay. I'm not
comfortable.
I'm comfortable. Yeah, we're comfortable. This guy has had his kid cooped up in his house for a whole fucking year. And all of a sudden he gets enough money to bring his kid to a game.
A playoff game. Those ain't cheap.
They're not cheap at all. And he just got to bring his kid, sit him down, and then, halfway through the game, he's asked to fucking leave because you cheer for the wrong team. Are you kidding me? We here, me and Alex, we live in Edmonton and area. We've been to games. I've worn my Red Wing jersey to an Oilers game when they were good and when they were bad because half the damn stadium is Red Wing fans.
Yeah.
And even when the Calgary Flames come to town, you get scraps. It happens when you have dumbass fans across the board. Someone's going to get a little too drunk. They're going to get a little scrappy, and it just happens. It's the culture. It's the nature of the game. We know that. Yeah. But you know what? The one thing that's not happening? That guy is not getting asked to leave the fucking game unless he gets too rowdy. He's not getting stabbed in the parking lot because he's wearing the opposing person's jersey. That shit happens in Vancouver. This is bullshit.
Yeah.
You are trying to build the game of hockey in Florida. You are winning the Stanley Cup, and instead of allowing all these other people to come and enjoy your atmosphere that you're supposed to be creating, you instead go and tell the opposing fans to get the fuck out of my stadium. Now, that being said, again, this is not on the fans. This is on ownership. I'm going to state that. Now, because this video went viral, the Tampa Bay Lightning have now taken that rule, revoked it. So we're not going to have that going anymore. It doesn't matter. You had this happen for 8 to plus fucking years. You got your pictures now. Your whole stadium full of blue because nobody ever wanted to enter the Lightning Den. That's not how it's going to be portrayed. The reason why no one got to enter that Lightning atmosphere is because they didn't cheer for the Lightning. In my opinion, this is going to sound really bad, but that ownership there is a bit of a piece of shit for doing that. There's going to be days where you are bad, and all of a sudden, it can only be Lightning fans that come into there. If you're that bad, they're not going to come to your arena.
Yeah.
It's going to look like the Florida Panthers arena from back in the day. And that wasn't fun for them. Look at them now. They're building their fan base, and they're building their fucking culture.
Well, and you'd think, too, the visiting fans coming in, you're still getting their money. You're still getting their money for ticket sales and concessions and all the alcohol and everything. Like, why do you care?
And again, it's not on the fans. It's not on the Tampa Bay Lightning fans.
Not at all.
It's, a couple of drunk ones might be like, hoorah, right? But the fans I know and the fans that are following, and even some of that I see that are listening today, they're not the fans that are going to kick them out. No. Hell no. They're the inclusive ones. They're the ones that are going to be sitting with me when I go down there and I'm wearing my Red Wings jersey. I'm going to be tipped the head to toe in Red Wings gear and try to kick me out. I will be right on the edge of say, I'm not going to get rowdy and hit anybody or start pissing anybody's kid off or swearing at a kid. I don't do that. I'm the nice troll. I go there and I'm like, I'm having fun. If I lose, I'm not going to sit there and start pouring alcohol on people. No, I'm going to sit there and you know what? Yeah, that sucks. Man, I lost that game. Can I buy you a beer? Let's go talk about it. Great game. Great. You guys got a great fan base here. That's what I do. If I win, I'm not going to sit there and be like, fuck you. I'm not going to do that. Yeah. I'm going to sit there and be like, this is awesome that I got to saw the Red Wings win in Tampa Bay Lightning Stadium. I can't remember what their stadium is. I can't remember.
Oh, God.
Someone will give it to me in the chat there in a second. But I'm not going to sit there and troll. I'm going to sit there and say the same thing. Can I go buy a Lightning fan a beer? I'm not going to sit there and talk your ear off for an hour about why we won. I just want to sit there and talk about other shit now. Let's talk about the future. But I got 2 points and it's ruined my draft pick. You just lost 2 points and it's going to ruin your first place or whatever.
Yeah.
That's the way it needs to be. And it's not on the fans, it's on the ownership, because the ownership did something wrong for 8+ years that has not been addressed until there was a social media viral video in the middle of a cancel culture. And because they've won the Stanley Cup and because they got fans in the stadiums, they did not want to lose that. So they took care of the issue right away. But it doesn't matter. You still need to be held accountable for what you did. If this didn't happen, if this viral video happened and you didn't address it, I was willing to go as far as to be like, fine, there is no Tampa Bay Lightning jerseys in any arenas, in any 31 arenas across the league for 5 years. That is your penalty if that's the way you're going to play it. So it's 5 years on top of every year that you continue to have this stupid rule in place in your fucking arena. It was dumb. It was misplaced. It is so untasteful, if you ask me. I'm not an Oilers fan, and I live in Oilers country. I have been a Red Wing fan my entire life, and they've allowed me to enter their arena and join them and the rest of the other Red Wing fans that are there. Nowadays, when me and Alex go there, we're going to be the minority because the Edmonton Oilers are pretty good. The Red Wings fans have gone back into hiding, except that. We're gonna go see our young guys play and be like, all right, this is cool, and then we're gonna come talk about it on the show here. Yeah, but you know what I'm gonna do if me and Alex lived in the Red Wings arena, and all of a sudden I see someone getting kicked out because they got the opposing jerseys. No. Switch my jerseys. Switch my jersey then. I switch my jersey with them. You saw me enter the damn arena in this jersey. I'll switch the jerseys and stuff like that. I'll take their jersey and I'll hold it to them for the end of the game because they're not leaving. Because that's what we need to do in order to, one, keep NHL afloat, because we know it doesn't make money. So if we keep kicking people out for wanting to enjoy the game as an opposing fan, how the hell are we going to expand the game? How the fuck are we supposed to expand the game if we're kicking 7 or 11-year-old kids out of the game for being a Panthers fan?
Yeah.
It's a Panthers fan. What damage are they going to do, first of all? That's next year when they're actually going to start being relevant. Look at the Islanders right now. But
man, speaking of the Panthers, I bet they regret paying Bobrovsky all that money. Spencer Knight. Oh my God.
And I love that one meme that was going around where it was like night to the Panthers.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's in good taste.
Yeah.
This is proper. And I'm sorry, like hold on one second. I want to see this. I think it was a Boston fan or a Red Wing fan that tried setting the arena on fire after their team lost, but I think it was actually a woman that did it. And I heard the Boston fans are the worst. Okay, so
Boston fans are, yeah.
Boston fans are the worst, but and then Amelia Arena, I believe that's what
Emily.
it is. Now, Emily Arena. Okay, so here's the other thing. I agree that Boston fans are pretty bad. Philadelphia Eagle fans can be pretty bad.
Oh, they're awful, yeah.
We all know this, okay? We're Canadian. And the one thing that we can say is Canadian hockey fans are, in our opinions, some of the worst. We have, and the reason why I made that Vancouver joke is because Vancouver 2010, the Stanley Cup Finals, between Boston and Vancouver Canucks.
Yeah.
Boston wins. There was Boston fans in that arena, by the way. There was a lot of them. You could see it.
Yeah.
Okay, but it was a hell of a game. All right? Yeah. And one man and his 2 kids and his wife or whatever, wearing a jersey, walking home over the overpass, and a bunch of fans throw him over. And his kids got to watch him pass away because he was a Bruin fan. And ever since that day, I have been one person that has said, I don't want to ever see Vancouver really go to the finals ever again until your city learns to figure it the hell out. And the other side of it is, if this is what happens in Vancouver, imagine what's going to happen in Toronto.
Yep.
Me and Alex don't hate the Maple Leafs this much because we just, we grew up in there and everyone shoved them. We're Maple Leafs are the best teams that have ever existed down our throats until the day we were born. It's because we know what's going to happen the day they go to the Stanley Cup Finals. If they win, it might be a little bit more calm, but that party's not going to stop for at least.
It's still going to be a riot in the city either way.
Exactly. And then if they lose,
oh my God. We thought Vancouver was bad.
You thought the Roy Halladay situation I've told you about on this show was bad. We're talking some crazy shit would happen if the Toronto Maple Leafs go to the Stanley Cup Finals. Like this year this might be the year Gary Bettman needs to do it because you're not going to have that many people going outside. But this is also Toronto. You tell the Stanley, we saw what happened with the Raptors. You guys know that I started the riot here in Edmonton, for crying out loud. Imagine what I would do if I was a Maple Leafs fan and I was in Toronto. Bieber's a Maple Leafs fan. There's other prominent actors and major people in the world who are Maple Leaf fans. And if they go on a run, they're going to lock down that city and they're going to burn it. And it's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be fucking pretty. And so to end my point on this, I'm not mad at the fans. I'm mad at the franchise for allowing this to happen. This is literally like, when you talk about cancel culture, this is some things that are not necessarily need to be canceled, but these are things that need to be addressed. And the fact that we turn a blind eye to situations like that, I hate it. Now that it's finally addressed, good. The next time the Florida Panthers and the Tampa Bay Lightning play each other in the playoffs, I want so many Florida Panther fans to buy out as many damn tickets as they possibly can. And I want you to just flaunt as many of those Florida Panther jerseys in that stadium. And It's not because I hate the fans of the Tampa Bay Lightning. I actually adore the Tampa Bay Lightning fans. There's a great show that I share all the time, so you guys should go check it out. It's Stammer and Stash, or Stash and Robert Shett. I got to remember the whole name. We the Thunder. There we go. The great podcast, great show, great bunch of people. Me and Alex are not Tampa Bay Lightning fans at all. But we appreciate a great fan base. And the Tampa Bay Lightning and their fans have been great to us, and we appreciate them. And the day that I go to Tampa Bay, when the damn borders open, and I can get a show started right there, be live, I'll be in Red Wings colors, win or lose. I do not care what the security thinks, and I do not care what the security is going to do. You will drag me out with a person holding an arm on each side and 2 legs. I will not go out easy, but I will also not be standing in your stadium being an idiot.
Yeah.
I will be respectful to your fans. Someone pours some beer down me and stuff like that, that's fine. It's the States and stuff like that. I can't legally carry a gun. I know half your damn stadium can. You think I'm going to be an idiot? Nope. I'm going to be as fucking respectful as I can. But I'm also going to wear my stuff and support my team in any stadium I go in. And I can tell you right now, Tampa Bay Lightning fans, it's going to suck one day when karma comes and kicks that stadium in the ass and you guys don't have a proper team. And then there's no other jerseys in that damn arena. And I'm sorry for the 21-minute rant. And I love every single one of you fans. And I saw that we had a lot of people tuning in for that. And guys, I love you. I love you for tuning in. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry for that rant. And I love you. And I'm going to go to these quick.
Yeah.
Glad you're doing good, buddy. Blue, thank you for coming in.
Appreciate that.
Hello, gentlemen. Teresa, thank you for tuning in. Johnny Dean.
Hello.
I like turtles. Special Angry Canadian Saturday special. Yes. And again, wow, really kicked them out for wearing the wrong jerseys and rooting for the wrong team. Hell, the Bucks would have had hardly any ticket sales in the past years with that. That's my
same with my Lions.
Exactly. We support every other team because then, like we've seen before, look at the Giants game. Like those kids that put their hand out for Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
If they were Pat fans, for example, let's say they were Pat fans and he just didn't do that. I bet you any money some smart Giant fan would be like, hey, that sucks. You know, the Giants would never do that. Here's a couple of hats. And all of a sudden they're like, screw Bill Belichick. I'm a Giants fan. It's like that's how you do it. This happens, okay? You guys just have to be accepting across the board. That was a great fucking red rant. Yep. Got a bat bombed me. Emily Arena. Fortunately, no, but great idea. We got into that one there.
Yeah.
Wear the Datchukes. I did actually. I did wear that one before to a game. How you guys doing today, Andrew and Alex? I'm okay. Alex, how you feeling? Are you good?
Doing well, all things considered.
You're not dying, which is good.
Nope.
I'm so happy you're not dying. So people who are just tuning in, Alex was diagnosed with COVID.
Yeah.
We cannot obviously still do the show because that's just the way that our country works. But he is doing fine.
Oh yeah, I feel like I have a cold. I'm fine.
Yeah. Yeah, he'll be fine. I don't know what that was, Teresa. I'll click on that after. There have been years of Buccaneers history that if they tossed out Packers or Bear fans, the stadium would. Again, that's what I'm saying. There was times in the Tampa Bay stadium as well for the Lightning that, you know, the people were going to get kicked out. Yeah. Andrew Sayre's about to start smoking. Man, I literally kept it all in. I didn't want to go on too big of a rant. And I love having this show because, and the funny thing is Alex knew. I was like, do you have the Lightning on your news thing? He's like, oh no, I knew. So, see, and that's the reason he's my co-host. There was a point to it, Teresa. I'm sorry. I know I know Teresa probably doesn't like all the swearing, and I do apologize, but I always do appreciate you tuning in too. I worked at the stadium for 5.5 years during our first Super Bowl run, and there used to be a guy, how he never got kicked out of the stadium for life is beyond me. He used to put ketchup and mustard and shit on his hands and walk up and hug opposing team fans, smearing all over their jerseys.
Oh, a lot
of people didn't even know he did it to him until somebody told them and the stadium knew about it and did nothing. That's
awful.
Yeah, that does suck. Why? Sorry, that's awesome. I mean, if it's a rich person, I always got the thing with the rich people because they can always pay for another jersey. So
I think he's talking about the rant.
Oh, I see. Okay. My apologies. What's up, Andrew? And also thank you, Johnny. I just, I apologize for all the cussing, and I apologize to the Tampa Bay Lightning fans that are watching this. They don't need to hear that all the time. How you doing today, Stephen Glasker? Holding up the, yeah, Stephen, thank you for tuning in, buddy. I know you're having a rough time there, respectively. We got you, buddy. Come to the show, listen to the rants. I try to be as quiet as possible. My pretty lady's sitting beside me. The kids are trying to nap. Probably not napping because Daddy went on a lightning rant. She's like, yeah. They're trying. I was there, buddy. If you need to talk, I'm here. Shoot me a message. My way, Alex. There you go.
Appreciate that.
I don't mind the swearing. Do you? Nope. I never mind. What? Okay. Perfect. No, that's good then, Teresa. That perfect. I thought maybe you were like, Andrew, you always drop the F word, and you're too smart to be dropping the F word. No, I'm not. I literally say fuck more times than I say anything else. And that's why I love you. I don't know if he's talking to me or Alex, Teresa, Johnny. I don't know. But
you
Alex,
got one more sneaking in there.
Oh.
Kyle.
Oh, Julio to the 49ers calling it now. We are actually going to talk after Alex gets into the news here a little bit. We're going to talk some playoffs. And we're also going to do a little bit of Dynasty. And one of the people we are going to talk about in the Dynasty is Julio and where he would be a major implication depending on some teams that he would go. Because everyone knows that I've traded him away in a couple of leagues. And obviously that was, before the Shannon Sharp interview. My God.
Man.
That was so crazy. But before we can get into all that, Alex has got some news that he needs to drop for us. So let's get into it.
Okay, so we'll start off in the NFL. As Andrew just said, Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless, they have a show called Undisputed on Fox. And Shannon Sharp called up Julio because he was pictured wearing a Dallas Cowboys shirt. Asked if he was going to Dallas or staying in Atlanta, and he was about to throw some other options, and Julio cut him off and said, hell no, I'm getting the hell out of there. So these trade rumors are legit. As Andrew said, we'll talk later on where we think he's going to go and how it affects fantasy. But that's another one of these big names that's looking to get out of where they are. The Rams have so many moving pieces in and out. Obviously, the Matthew Stafford trade. They're up against the cap. So they didn't have a lot of money to spend on other pieces on their team. They did manage to sign Austin Corbett, and he's an offensive lineman. He's normally a guard. They're looking at him now to be their starting center. The Packers tight end Robert Tonyan finally signed his RFA tender. He's going to return to the team. Hopefully for them, he goes into OTAs because not only are they missing Aaron Rodgers at OTAs, they're also missing their top 5 wide receivers. None of them showed. So give Jordan Love somebody to throw to that might actually see the field this year in case he's their guy later on. Speaking of the Packers, they've came out, and I think they were kind of forced to say this, but they're happy with Jordan Love's development. Obviously, they kept quiet about Love last year because he pissed Rodgers off already, and Rodgers was balling out. But I feel like they're just kind of forced to say this right now, try and make Love as confident as possible in case Rodgers doesn't fold here and just does not show up.
Yeah, because somebody fucked up.
Yeah.
You fucked up when you drafted him, and you fucked up when you didn't pay him.
And it was also funny because Rodgers went on some talk show earlier in the week.
Yep.
And they're talking about the different parts of the team, and he's like, no, Jordan's great. The backup quarterbacks are great. No, my receivers are great. No, my offensive line's great. No, my defense is great. No, my coaches are great. I love Matt LaFleur and all this, and then just didn't say anything about the front office. So you know where his issues lie.
Yeah, that Matt LaFleur, say a little skit on the Pat McAfee show was pretty funny too.
Oh yeah,
where
funny.
He's sitting there like, it's not mad at me. It's not me. It's not me. It's not. Can't be me. Can't be. He's like, I like my player or my teammates. Yeah. I like my coaches. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. It's me, bitch. Anyways, yes, continue.
So Dak Prescott, speaking of OTAs, he's back at OTAs. Looks good, looks back to normal. That foot isn't causing him any issues. The receivers and tight ends, I believe it was Dalton Schultz, specifically the tight end, says the ball's got the same zip, the same power coming out. Like doesn't seem to be any issues there. So a good sign for him coming off that nasty injury. Some Lions news. Penei Sewell, the tackle that they drafted, He's played left tackle since, I believe it was like middle school, something like that. They're having him go to the right tackle, and he admitted what I figured he was going to admit, which is that it's hard after playing left tackle your whole life to go to right tackle. I had the same thing. I played left tackle, Pee-wee, Bantam, high school, all the way up. And then I got to junior, and they had me switch to right tackle, and it's just all the footwork and everything, you just completely flip it. So it is difficult after playing one way for so long to just be like, okay, now go to the other side. Use the other foot, use the other hand, all that. He does seem to be picking it up fairly well, though, from what I've seen. And another thing of Lions news, I don't know how realistic this is. Todd Gurley visited the Lions on Thursday, took a physical, didn't leave with a contract. I would like, if he came in as like our third running back on a cheap deal, I would love that.
Oh, you're actually okay with Gurley. I was hoping you were going to talk about this because it was like, I don't know how he's going to feel about this because like DeAndre Swift might be losing some carries now. Like,
see, and that's the thing. If Gurley comes in, it's got to be in the right role. Mm-hmm. I think right now their plan is Jamal Williams and DeAndre Swift are your Ingram Kamara. Obviously not either to that level, but Swift's your Kamara, your change of pace, your outside the tackles, your stretches, your tosses, all that.
Yeah.
And they want to use Jamal Williams for your dives, your ISO blocking, your short yardage schemes. So where you use Gurley then is, say, either those guys can't go because running backs always get banged up, or if both of them need a breather, or say Swift needs a breather as that outside guy, then you give Gurley those carries. See, Gurley can't be a number one running back anymore. So if he's there as your number 2, number 3, I think that's a really good value.
Well, there kind of goes Johnny Dean, where he said, let's get to the meat of the Lions question, Alex. How many injuries will the Lions players have after camp with all those knee-biting and real Lions on the field where there'll be enough players left to address the roster? Joking aside, do you think that this team will be healthy enough to, bring enough talent, not obviously to run a team, but do you think that, they're just bringing enough of these bodies in case one of these guys do go down here?
And I mean, that's probably the thing because, look at everywhere Dan Campbell's been, and when he gets involved and stuff, he likes them to be nasty in training camp.
It's true.
He said it wasn't an Oklahoma drill when he was in Miami. It was an Oklahoma drill.
It's an Oklahoma
You're getting
drill,
nasty.
Man.
You're seeing who's the top dog.
Yeah.
You're trying to bring out all that testosterone. It's good for the team. You just got to stay healthy. So I think look at the offensive line in the front 7 to kind of be banged up during training camp, I think. I think mostly when it comes to that kind of stuff, you'll see the starting offensive and defensive lines go in a little bit, and then they'll pull them out and just let them get physical enough to just stay in shape, make sure the technique's good, make sure their nasty streak's on, and then pull them out. And all these depth guys that are trying to make a roster, this is where you make your name. This is where if you manhandle some guy 2 times, that might be you making the roster.
That's true. What else you got for me, brother?
So this one I found kind of funny. So the NFL suspended free agent offensive tackle Jared Veldier. He got some prescription. He's got low testosterone or whatever, and they're helping him build that back up. So to counter that, he said, fuck it, I'm retiring. so even if he wants to come back, he can't for the first 6 games of the regular season. But yeah, I saw that this morning and found that hilarious. Had a little laugh to myself.
I just love how you just like nonchalantly said, "Fuck it, I'm retiring."
Yes. I'm guessing that's probably how he said it too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He's had all the money in the world. He had his days where he was one of the best offensive tackles in football.
Oh yeah.
Just be like, what else do I got to prove? Like,
yeah, oh for sure.
And then the last NFL news, I thought this was really cool. So on the Pat McAfee show earlier this week, kicker Adam Vinatieri decided that he's not coming back. He's retiring. He's done. It was cool to go on there and do it because those two had been teammates for so long. I think it was almost like 10 years or so.
Yep.
And just the chemistry those two have, the connection they have, and to be able to, for Pat to be able to break that news, that's huge for him. And a hell of a career for Vinatieri. He's the all-time leading scorer in the NFL. And in my opinion, I mean, Justin Tucker's probably going to catch him, but as of now, Vinatieri's the best kicker in the history of the game.
Hands down.
Moving on to the NHL, Taylor Hall said he wants to remain a Bruin long-term, wants to sign there long-term after the season. Actually, Cody, one of the guys we work with, messaged me this and was like, do you think this could actually happen? And I'm sitting there and I'm like, no way in hell this could happen. Like, there's no way they have money. And I look it up. They have $26 million for next season. They have close to 20 guys. They got to re-sign like NHL and AHL, like minor leagues as well. So we'll see if they make it happen. But Hall's been huge for them in this playoffs to give them that second and third line scoring.
Yeah.
He's been a huge help to that team. I think they should want him back, and him wanting to be there and willing to be on that middle line player for them.
Yeah, I
think is huge. An interesting one as well. The Canucks general managers came out and said it's a matter of time before the Sedin brothers join the front office. They're going to be in there every day working with the team, trying to build that team up. They're just trying to figure out roles for them right now. So expect news in a week or two probably to come out on the Sedin brothers and their positions in the front office. Just some quick NBA news, the awards. So 2 awards have come out already. The rest they're just kind of throwing out as they go. Julius Randle won the most improved player. That was an easy runaway one, I thought. And Jordan Clarkson won the 6th man of the year. It was kind of cool how they did it. Kind of sucks for Joe Ingles, though, because the finalists were Joe Ingles of the Jazz, Jordan Clarkson of the Jazz, and Derrick Rose of the Knicks.
Yeah. And
they gave the award to Joe Ingles to give to Jordan Clarkson.
Yeah, that was rude.
And I mean, I think he was happy to do it, but that's still, imagine like, here, Alex, here's this award, go give it to Andrew. Like,
yeah,
and we're both in the running for it. Like,
I would say host of the year or something like that for like up and coming podcast. And all of a sudden, me and you are nominated, and then even be like, even give it to me to give to you, kind of thing. And be like, I'm not mad. It's just like, damn, dude.
yeah,
damn,
it suck.
Yeah,
and that's it.
Oh, okay. So that was Alex with the news, which also, man, fuck that. If we ever get nominated for something and they're like, listen, hey, listen, man, you don't need Fulbert, okay? You can do your own show and stuff. Just talk to me about it. Don't One Republic my ass. Harry Styles behind my back. And you're like, I'm gonna fuck your wife. I'm gonna fuck your whole fan base. I'm gonna do it, man. And then I'm gonna take your money and your record label, and I'm gonna go star in Dunkirk. That was Alex with the news. Let's get to some of these comments here because we got a lot of people talking today, and I love
awesome so far.
it. Where were we here? Was it here? No,
way down. Julio to the 49ers.
There you go. All right, and stuff. Yeah, everybody's giving. I go and stuff like that. That's I know. Julio to Jacksonville. Listen, if that. They do have a really good wide receiving core as it is. I'd even say it is pretty stacked, but he does want to go to a winner. So I would say no, just because he does want to go to a winner. But if they were already established, say in 2 or 3 years, and he was 2 or 3 years younger than what he was, I would say that would be a great situation. But it's not. I don't see that happening only because he does want to go to a winner, and I think it would just be a waste of the cap space and stuff like that too. NFL is pissed at Shannon Sharp. His show Undisputed NFS1. I would be too.
Well, and there's a whole, I saw there was a whole bunch of stuff here. So the NFL's pissed at Shannon Sharp. Yep. Fox is pissed at Shannon Sharp. Julio's pissed at Shannon Sharp. Like, the Falcons are pissed. Like, oh man. And you can hear in the background, I think her name's Jenny Taft, the host, and she's sitting there and she's like, does he know he's on live TV? Like, you should make sure he knows. Like, you
should probably know this kind of thing. And then Skip trying to slide in there and be like, yo, tell him this. It's like, shut the fuck up, Skip.
Yeah.
I dumbest investment Fox has ever made, but I get it. Let's run our television programs off people who say dumb shit.
He's so controversial. He gets a lot of views.
I know. And I don't ever want us to run off controversy, okay? I want us to run off being good and smart.
Yeah.
If I have to be controversial, I'll be the one that's controversial, okay? That way you can still run the show, and then we'll just pretend Faubert had to get fired for a year and then come back, and maybe not because you'll find another host. Anyway, I think Herd Julio is pissed at Shannon. Yep.
Yeah.
Right on there. Definitely seems like a blindside, honestly. I'm content with my Falcons. Calvin Ridley is a stud. Yeah,
absolutely.
Kyle, you do make a good point. Me and Alex have talked about this too. Mike Davis is a running back. You can deal with that for at least a year or two. Javion Hawkins is probably going to come in there, be second fiddle. They'll probably sign somebody else. But you got Calvin Ridley, you got Gage, Isaiah or whatever his name is as well. Then you got Kyle Pitts to be your tight end, and Hurst is still there. Yeah. So that offense
Pitts will play your slot.
He's basically he has basically said Kyle Pitts is going to be like a really good slot receiver with this Falcons offense since before he was even drafted there. So we got to Johnny's there. Go Leafs, go Leafs. Go.
See if they don't choke tonight. Let's see.
Yeah, let's see if they get to the next round. I got, as you see down there, so that's our record right there. It's not the greatest with the money, okay? That's what happens when you do take a chance on some underdogs. But understand that if you go and check out NorthSportsDynasty.com, you go to the betting lines section, you can see that we actually were doing really, really good in May. I just obviously had 2 bad days of betting. I actually have them right here, and it was right there. May 23rd. Was not great, and of course, May 21st was not great, and then so that's what we deal with. Couple of bad bets leads to some bad records. But when you got Harry the Greek and me swapping some knowledge around the boards and stuff like that, start getting some good returns. So, like for example, last night I passed out, but I had dropped $20 on the Cardinals to see if I can get a nice little return, because I just wanted to keep upping my bank so I don't have to keep putting $20 every payday in there, just so I can keep this rolling, because I want to keep this going, and I do want to be better, and I do make money, but then obviously I make very dumb bets off of not this part, and I and I take chances, and they don't do very good. I'm not that great at the 3-team parlays, but you got to know what your weaknesses are, and you got to know what your strengths are. And I'm not going to know them unless I start, at least trying, right?
Yep.
And that's what we do here. Alex knows we were right at the 500 mark. We were one day over 500, and then we went back into the negatives, and we've been kicking around about 500. So don't take us for everything, but when we do lock in some bets, we are pretty good at the lock-in bets. So absolutely was the Oklahoma drill for sure. Any bets on who is going to be the biggest blindside team of the NFL, who might fly under the radar for the first half of the season? Alex, who do you got?
I'm just going back to my predictions here, see if I can find them. I got so much shit in here. Okay, here we go. Let's see. I've got could be the Bears. Sneaking into that 7 seed right at the end.
Yep.
I would say the Giants, but no, the Chargers.
Chargers, yeah. See, Chargers is what I was going to say. I even said the Houston Texans, and I'm going to get hate for it and stuff, but until Deshaun Watson is declared not the number 1 starter, I got to take the Houston Texans for the team that they are right now. It's Deshaun Watson given a new coach. So anytime a new coach is given all-star to superstar talent like that, they usually can make it work for a year. And like I've said before, I don't think they'll make it to the playoffs. I think they can get 9-8 if Deshaun started the whole year. And I think that 9-8 would just be proof to the whole league. Okay, if we take that talent and put it on a real fucking team, he can do good. But we need to see what happens with the court stuff first, obviously, and that needs to be addressed. Low T problems that young. What? I think it maybe meant Sewell. We'll have to double check. Bet his wife is saying, no, don't retire. She will never have time for her side dick now. Oh, dear.
Talking about Valdir, probably.
Yeah. Question, did Barry Sanders put a curse on Detroit? Because since he retired, I can't name one running back that has done anything there.
Well, it's been a mix of some bad offensive lines, some just bad overall football teams. There's been a lot of those.
Yep.
And here's the thing, I believe it was 2013.
Yep.
We had 2 running backs do really well. It was Reggie Bush
Yeah,
and
and
Joique Bell.
that's right. That's right.
And Javid Best, who we drafted in 2009 or 2010. He was a really, really good athlete, like track star, everything.
Just injuries.
Yeah, he took a nasty concussion in college, another one in the NFL, and that was it.
Yep.
But he was going to be something special.
I agree.
He was so good.
Yeah.
The main curse that's been there is the Bobby Lane curse. So we had Bobby Lane in the 50s, won a bunch of championships, and then they decided they were going to try and go it with another quarterback, traded him to Pittsburgh. And he literally said, for the next 50 years, you're not winning a damn thing. And funny enough, the year that the 50-year curse was supposed to be over was the year we went 0-16.
Oh,
yeah.
Jeez. That's awesome. I mean, that sucks, but
I find it hilarious.
Good question. But didn't they get a good running back last year?
Talking about my Lions, yes, they got a very good running back.
Yeah, me and him both agreed that DeAndre Swift is going to be good. Now, fantasy wise, it is a bit of a pickled situation now, just because of the Jamal Williams and the Todd Gurley's rumors. So it's like he's going to lose touches.
I still think he's their number one. I still think he's going to easily hit 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns.
For sure. He falls for me now in the category of like the Miles Sanders, because they have like running back by committees there. Even in Chicago, like with the not necessarily Montgomery. Yeah. It's going to start falling into those categories because
Jamal Williams is too good to not have on the field. I agree.
That's the thing. If you draft talent like that, you have to use the talent. Like there's a reason why when the Buccaneers have OJ Howard coming in this year, everyone has been like, well, we could trade him. We could trade him for this and we could trade him for that. Well, it's like, but we could also just give Brady more fucking talent.
Yeah. Doesn't
make any sense. Why would we do that? So I do, DeAndre Swift is going to be a great running back. I just, be cautious if you're talking fantasy here. If it's Dynasty, you still want him for the next 5 years. If it's for this year though, and he's up there in the top first round, and you're just doing like a work league or something like that, you can get away with going after like Austin Eckler or Aaron Jones or Nick Chubb or Joe Mixon instead.
Absolutely,
and it's no disrespect to DeAndre Swift. It's just because they're
those guys are the guys.
Yeah, like. Shannon Sharp is a fool. Can't watch his show 10 minutes. See, I could watch Shannon Sharp. I can't watch Skip fucking Bayless. Like, I personally am not a Skip Bayless or a the hell is the other guy there? You better listen to me.
Stephen A. Smith.
I'm Stephen A. Max Kellerman over here. He don't know nothing.
I actually love those guys.
You, Alex, that's because you don't know nothing, okay? I'm a Stephen A. Smith. I'm going to talk the hockey stuff. I'm going to talk the major basketball stuff. But you're going to stay in your corner there, Alex, okay? I'm the one that doesn't know anything about anything. So you just go and get bought out by Fox. And I'm going to sit here with Max Kellerman and talk so much shit out my ass. I don't know if that was a good Stephen A. impression, but that's how I feel about Stephen A. Offense hasn't been the Falcons' problem. It's their defense.
He's absolutely right.
Hot 28-3. I'm sorry, Kyle, if you're watching, but 28-3, man. Andrew Faber, one of your strengths is the red rant. I guess we're gonna have to call it that, eh?
Yeah.
The red rant.
Yeah, I like that.
What if I dyed my hair? But then, like, am I still the red rant? Are you know?
What if I dye your hair and we won't have this issue?
Just don't fucking be the problem, Faubert. Like, why you got to make it an issue? Here's a trivia question for you. You might already know. Who was the first major sports league to retire someone's jersey? Ooh.
Okay.
I actually would. Okay, so he says major sports league. So
talking the Big Four, I think.
I actually think he just means outside of the Big Four too, because this could be a trick question. I'm actually going to go. I bet he's trying to screw with us. I'm gonna say it's probably the Toronto Argonauts. I bet you.
I'm gonna go.
I bet you.
I'm gonna say it's the NHL.
Ooh, so that would be. I bet you it's the Senators. Then watch it be the Senators.
Oh.
David Mosier, let us know in the comment section what it is too. But yeah, what do you think?
Oh,
Alex?
he did. He says it right below. Okay, like
Oh, does
4
he?
below.
Okay, 1 second. Andrew Faubert, here we go again. The Texans. Yeah. We'll talk about this again one day, Johnny. Don't worry.
Here's the thing: if Deshaun Watson is not the quarterback, they're picking top 3.
Yeah, I do agree with that. That's what I was saying about Detroit. Either they're one or done, or they're injury prone. No, that's true. It's true.
Yeah.
No idea. Great question. It was NHL team. I think it was the Maple Leafs. I don't remember the player. No, okay. So yeah, it was. That's why I figured it would have been the Maple Leafs then. Why trade OJ? Because whenever he isn't playing, he is taking a roster spot for someone who may have made the roster and been productive. Because whenever he isn't playing, okay. I mean, yeah, but when he's not playing, he's really, really good. So, I don't know how much Andrew loves. I fucking hate the Maple Leafs. Listen, actually, for me, they're right in. They're not necessarily in the middle group, but I do have the most hated 5 for me. And Alex hates a couple of them too. It's Boston number 1, Pittsburgh number 2, Chicago number 3, the Ducks number 4, and it's recently been the Tampa Bay Lightning just because of the history of Detroit and the Lightning.
And then they had our guy running their franchise.
Yeah, so it's been the Lightning number 5. But I have other teams that I do say respectively hate. The Maple Leafs are only on say 6th for me, and they're slowly getting there. They're getting to the top 5. But I don't want to say I hate them. It's just I grew up in Ontario where everywhere is blue and white.
Yeah.
It's basically take the Canadian flag and just make the red blue, and then that's how they die for it. And yeah. I couldn't stand it. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go cheer for the team that actually is my colors for my flag. Thank you very much, and win Stanley Cup. So. And
the funniest thing has been watching Leafs fans squirm ever since Montreal won that game.
Oh my God. So before we get into any more comments here, let's get into some of the playoff talk here for a sec.
Yeah.
I do have the picture. Give me a second. This is the playoffs, ladies and gentlemen. The first round almost officially done. The New York Islanders have taken out the Pittsburgh Penguins in 6, I believe that was.
Yep.
The Boston Bruins have taken out the Washington Capitals in 6 as well. Carolina has also
5, wasn't it?
Or 5, sorry, 5. Yeah. Carolina has beaten Nashville in 6, which goes against what I said, but it's neither here or there. Tampa Bay has also taken Florida out in 6. Montreal and Toronto are still playing just because they were late additions because they played in Canada, and we're waiting for Vancouver and Calgary to be done. Oh, and by the way, Oilers and Winnipeg have been done for a while, for quite a while. Man, we went on a long extended holiday break there and it came back the next week, and all of a sudden I had money in my hand because a lot of Oiler fans don't want to ever bet with me ever again now, do you? I'm pretty sure, man, I'm not going to say the person's name, but it felt really, really good going in on Monday, I think it was. Yeah, Monday. Or Tuesday. And
I was like, maybe you went in on Monday. I know I didn't.
No, I didn't. I go in on Monday and I was like, hey, I went to the one person. I'm like, hey, you said, the Oilers, they're like, yeah. And I'm like, who was saying that though to you? Who was saying all the things about the Jets and stuff? And they're like, oh, that was my husband. Why? And I'm like, I just want to know who I'm never, ever asking sports advice from ever again. And they were like, listen. And I'm like, no. I said the Oilers don't have depth. They're not going to beat the fucking Jets. I didn't say they were going to get swept. I just said you're not going to beat the Jets. I thought the Oilers were going to win at least 2 games, but nope. And then right back to it again. St. Louis has lost officially to Colorado. I thought that one was going to be a lot closer, and I was fucking wrong. And officially last night, my fiance's Golden Knights have officially moved on to the second round to face Colorado after beating a very strong Minnesota Wild team, man.
Yeah, that was a fun series and a fun game last night till it got out of hand there.
Yeah, I actually took the under. That was one of the hardest betting games.
Oh man, yeah.
To get consistently because it wasn't like one game here, under, over. It wasn't one win here, one win here. There wasn't necessarily a pattern that whole entire series, and it was pissing me off. And I lost a little bit of money, and I even told the fiance, I'm not betting on your Golden Knights anymore. I can't do it. I can't do it, man.
Man, Vegas, Colorado series.
It's gonna
this
be
coming week, though. Oh my God, yes, please.
Oh, right.
I've been saying if I had to be off for 2 weeks, this is the time.
I know. and the coolest thing is too, it kind of sucks for Kim because she's a Golden Knights fan, but she's also got her cousin that plays for the Colorado Avalanche.
Yeah.
So now she's like, if it does get out of hand, because they got a bit of a rivalry too, she's like, okay, but can we just make sure Tyson's not on the ice, please? Like, get him out of there. And I'm still trying to get Tyson on the show, but obviously he is an NHL player. It's really hard to get an NHL player on a small time show, but we're growing. And if you like and share and follow us, NorthSportsDynasty.com and North Sports Dynasty across all social media networks, like, share, follow. It'll help build our show. It'll help build the culture and it'll help build the platform. And we can get a couple of bigger people on because they're agents to be like, yeah, okay. Yeah, we can do that one. It seems okay. Then they'll come on here and then we'll be on ESPN because we asked a dumb question and all of a sudden never to be on anything like that again. So that being said, so some of the matchups obviously that we're going to have is we got the Islanders playing Boston tonight. And if you see by the bets down there, I got it over 5. It leans too much both ways, whereas the Islanders are an underdog, and I'm not going to start biting on that one just yet. I do like the Islanders in this series, but I'm not going to start hitting it just yet. So that's why I'll take the over. I think that game is going to end in like 4-3 just because they're both very, very chippy, and both goalies need to set themselves first before we can actually get this a proper series that I think. The other big game that we're going to see, we're going to get Carolina versus Tampa. That is going to be one hell of a matchup, guys.
That's going to be so much fun. That's what I had for this second round.
Yeah, you got that.
In my predictions, I took Carolina in 7.
Yeah, it's going to go far.
Oh, it's going to be so much fun.
What was that?
I don't know. I heard that too.
Yeah, it was weird. Hopefully it doesn't come back. Yeah. That said, Vasilevsky is probably going to be the X factor in that series, I would think. The other goalie is playing well, but Vasilevsky is the more franchise. So I would lean more Tampa, only because I also got Tampa and the Golden Knights playing in my Stanley Cup final prediction, and both teams are still in it. Thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God.
I thought Florida might crawl their way back in with how they were playing.
I even said at work, I'm like, listen, if Spencer Knight helps them win game 6, I'm not betting game 7 because I wouldn't know any which way to go. The other one, we're waiting on the Canadian Vision to be done, but Winnipeg is going to be playing Toronto or Montreal. Either which way, that's going to be a fun little series. But the major one that we're talking about is the Golden Knights versus Colorado.
My God, yes, please.
Flurry.
They were far and away the 2 best teams in hockey this year.
Yep. And now they're not playing each other in the finals. They're playing each other to go to the Final Four. Like, the way that this thing is set up this year is just absolutely dumb, in my opinion, but also like, wow, we got this amazing matchup.
Yeah.
Colorado is not a pushover, man.
No.
Not a pushover. I don't know what to bet, and I don't know what to lean this way. Like,
it's all going to come down to I took Colorado to win the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's all going to come down to how Colorado deals with Vegas's physicality.
Yeah.
Vegas is going to be that rough and tough team. If Colorado just tries to out-finesse them and doesn't fight back, they're going to lose in probably 6.
Yeah.
Maybe even 5. But if Colorado fights back, give me them in 7, I think is what I took.
Yeah, because they set the tone, I think, like first game where, St. Louis was like, all right, well, maybe we'll fight them. And Landeskog was like, fuck you.
Well, I mean, Nazem and Kadri freaking ripping off that guy's head kind of helped that too. But
yeah, I know, and I don't want him back in the playoffs.
Man, he's gonna get back in this series too.
Kim is not gonna like that at all. So yeah, that if we're asking for our winners here, not the betting lines necessarily, but if you're just looking for winners, I would still take Boston. But I personally lean the Islanders' way.
Are you talking series or game?
For the series.
I'm going to go the Islanders.
Yeah, like I said, it's so hard to bet against the Islanders this year, but Boston is just looking so good too.
Just the amount of depth on the Islanders, especially in their forwards, though. Oh,
I
my
know,
God. They fleeced the Devils in that trade at the deadline.
Oh, that's true for sure.
Yeah.
Carolina versus Tampa. I lean more Tampa. This is going to be a good series. I would take Tampa in 6 or 7. That's just me.
I'm just taking Carolina for Game 7 at home. That's the only way that swung me towards Carolina.
Yeah. Carolina's got that home advantage, so that does make it difficult. But I'm going to still take the Stanley Cup champions. It's hard to bet against them.
It is very hard to pick against them.
We're not going to assume anything in the North just yet, so we'll get back to that next week, next show. But Colorado versus Golden Knights, I don't want any part of it. But I do lean Golden Knights. We're complete opposite at our second round, which is funny. But I'm going to go Golden Knights in 7. You got Colorado.
Yeah.
And if we assume anything in the North, like if it's Winnipeg versus Toronto, I still got Winnipeg. If it's Winnipeg versus Montreal, fuck that. It's probably going to be Montreal because the matchup.
I would still take Winnipeg.
I'd still take Winnipeg too, but I wouldn't be surprised if Montreal does, because if they could come back against Toronto, it's like, okay, they could be down 3-1 and then grind it out. So,
man, just the way Connor Hellebuck's been playing, though.
It's very true.
Oh, man.
Very, very true. So that's been the playoff update, ladies and gentlemen. Who are chilling in. Let me check this out here. Don't you dare dye your hair. Now, I mean, maybe.
No.
Maple Leafs were first. There it is. The first number officially retired by a team in a professional sport was the ice hockey player Ace Bailey, who wore number 6 and retired by the Toronto Maple Leafs in 1934.
See, I figured it was one of those original 6 teams.
Oh, okay. And then I like that. Some teams have also retired number 12 in honor of the fans. Or the 12th fan. Man,
yeah,
I like that.
Okay. I like that idea.
Yeah, okay.
Unless you have somebody, obviously, like Rogers or Brady, someone like that, wearing that number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the idea of retiring 12 for fans as well. Oh, Canada and all that other shit. I keep reading Ace Bailey as Ace Frehley. It's a rock and roll night thing. It's a rock and roll night! Hey, Alex is like, Jesus fucking Christ. Can you warn me? My ears. Another trivia question. Johnny and Matt, keep the answers to yourself. When the Buccaneers came into the NFL, what division were they in first? I've made so much money from people who call themselves true Buck fans. Oh, see, I'm new age, but if I'm... give me a second here.
I know it, so I'm gonna stay quiet for a second.
Well, yeah, because you're a Lions fan, and we were in the same division for a bit. Not
this early though.
Not that early, eh? Was it the Central?
No, it was the AFC West.
Oh, it was the West, really? Damn. As you can see, David, my co-host knows more about it than I do. I did not own it. NHL snobs. I know. Would you interview Sid? Oh. I don't. Man. Wow. Yes. Yeah.
I was like, yeah.
Good question there, Johnny. Good question. Tampa enforced Sweden. No. That's who I got for the Stanley Cup. The Knights and the Lightning. Yes, David. It seems appropriate.
That's a very likely final series.
Yeah.
See, I've got the other 2 teams from those 2 matchups going. That's what I have. I'm just saying, like, either those are interchangeable.
Fuck any Carolina team. Man, I am going to have to share this show to the Lightning group. Get ready for some hate mail, Andrew and Alex. They wouldn't bring it. Alex would be fine. Alex just does way better with that stuff than, say, I would do. I'd be, like, nice and calm until somebody would be like, yeah, well, Pavel Datsuk's a pussy-ass bitch. You'd be like, fuck you and your family and your whole fucking corporation you worked for. I go deep into the paint, man. I don't fuck around. The Buccaneers and the Seahawks came into the league in AFC West, and they switched divisions the following year.
Yes.
Buck started out as an AFC team, Western Division, before being shuffled to the NFC. Then it was the Central.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm an idiot. I'm sorry, guys.
I mean, you were off by 1 year.
By 1 year. Yeah,
that's not bad.
That doesn't make me a true Buccaneers fan. I bet you. People are going to hate me for it. So quick Dynasty talk here. I'm going to pull out the app here quick. Just make sure that we're talking. So we were talking Julio.
Yeah.
We know there's a bunch of teams that are obviously interested in Julio. We don't necessarily know where he's going to go just yet, but we know there is a lot of teams that are interested in his services.
Yes.
Not necessarily all of those teams are going to be good places for him dynasty-wise. So, for example, we had one of the questions earlier. Let's see if I can find it really, really quickly. Boom. What about Julio to Jacksonville? This would not be good for dynasty or any type of fantasy football relevance whatsoever.
Yeah.
Only because they have DJ Chark, they got Laviska Shenault, they got Marvin Jones now, which would just hurt one of the trades that I just did. So I wouldn't want that, like, even in the slightest. The other one, though, here is the Julio of the 49ers calling it now. If you want to talk about a place that he could actually do some damage right off the bat, having Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk not be necessarily the first look may be beneficial for them in your dynasty leagues.
One to be able to learn from someone like Julio too.
And Julio can be that Larry Fitzgerald factor where, you know, if you're looking to get somebody, if you're looking to just get that ball on first down, you're going to throw it to Julio because he can make those contested catches almost every time.
Yeah.
Now for fantasy, if he goes to San Francisco, try to make a trade with caution because you don't know, like, they have other receivers there. So you want to be very, very cautious. If there's any other places that I can think of right off the bat, Tennessee does make sense. You have A.J. Brown and Derrick Henry, and you can you can allow that offense to just gel right off the bat. I got no issues with that. Some people have even thrown out the idea of him going to Pittsburgh. If Pittsburgh were to throw in, say, a first-round pick and just...
You wanted one good year out of Ben before he walks off into the sunset?
You could have DeAndre Johnson.
Give me Baltimore.
Oh, God. I don't want that.
You want to see if Lamar can throw the ball?
That's the thing. Now, for fantasy relevance, as a person who took Bateman in one of the leagues, I don't want Julio because I actually think me and Johnny, if Johnny's still watching here, me and Johnny agree that Bateman is more than likely going to be like the number one guy in Baltimore because the camp videos that are coming out about him look amazing.
Yeah, and this is what I call.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And I was like, I don't know, until I saw some of those camp videos and I'm like, oh, shit. Yeah, he's looking pretty good, I guess.
Yeah.
So, but then I don't want that to be ruined necessarily if Julio does go there. Because
is it necessarily ruined, though? Because then he's not expected to be the number one right away.
Well, I mean, it is going to take a couple of weeks for teams to, assume that he'll be the number one. They'll be like, we'll see what the rookie does first.
Yeah.
Everybody usually does. But yeah, if they bring Julio, he's gonna, he would get open a little bit more. But then the slot position,
facing your second best corner,
and then the slot position there of Marquise Brown, I think that would be a little bit more intriguing for the way that Lamar plays, though, because he now gets open, right? So I think that still would hinder Bateman, but you do make a very compelling point. Let's just say that they don't, like, Marquise Brown is, still doing Marquise Brown shit. Yeah. They would probably start targeting him a little bit more. But this is also assuming that Lamar is just going to sit in the pocket a little bit longer now that he would have these type of wide receivers. So I've said the Chargers. I know Mike Williams.
I keep forgetting about that, but oh my God, yeah.
I know that Mike Williams is there, and I know Keenan Allen is there. Both do get banged up, and Julio does get banged up. So if you're trying to get consistency,
but you only need two of them out there.
Yeah, and if you're trying to get consistency out of Herbert for like the full year, you could afford Keenan Allen, Julio Jones, and Mike Williams each missing 4 games a year, as long as it's Keenan does it first, and then Mike does it, and then Julio, and then it goes back, and then it goes back, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So I don't mind that one. It would suck for the Canadian that got drafted there, and it would suck for Eckler because those targets would start coming down. So that trade with me and you, it was me and you there.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, that would not look very good for you, but I mean, it's beneficial for me, so I don't care anyway.
Didn't I give you Eckler?
I give him you back. I thought I gave him back.
No,
I traded him for Dalvin Cook. That's what it was.
Oh, okay, yeah, because I was like, I don't got him. I got Jacobs and Drake in them.
Yeah, that's right. And just as a reminder, my team is awesome. I don't mean to brag, but I'm coming for that title. I looked at it, and it's funny. Like I said, I didn't care. I don't care if I don't have depth. I traded for very little depth, and I'm still very scared.
You better hope your guys stay healthy. That's all I'm gonna say.
I know, and like I had to give up some of the bench players I didn't want to because some people someone dropped Phillip Lindsay, and I'm like, well, there's a chance, and I need that running back because the bye week for him does not match the other bye weeks that I have. So I was like, I need that. I can't believe I got Denzel Mims and Deebo Samuel in those trades. Like, I did no one get the memo? I'm going for the title. I'm not fucking around this year. I'm going for it. It's all mine. Like, I'm even gonna just increase my points per game prediction by putting Deebo Samuel in as my flex, and now I have If I go to my league here, I have a projected 162 points. And the best part is week 1, the only person that would come close, and I'm not trying to brag here, but I am. No, the only person that comes close, like with a full roster of points right now, is Kyle with 142, and I play him in the first week, and I got full 20 points on him projected. When we buy that belt, we're gonna send it to Brad, and then he's gonna send it right back to me. I want that fucking belt. I feel as though if I made the show with you, one of us needs to have that belt. We're Jeff and Matt Hardy in this bitch, and I'm Jeff Hardy.
I was like, you can dive off shit if you want to.
Yes, I'm Jeff Hardy. I love that. So yeah, with regards to Julio, there's only a few places. Tennessee would make sense only because he would be the second option. New York would kind of make sense, but we're talking about just winners here. So if we're talking about him just
which
going
New
to
York team are you talking there?
The Jets.
Okay,
the Jets.
I was like, the Giants make no sense.
The Giants make absolutely no sense. They're already stacked. Philadelphia, but he said again, winning team. The Bears would make sense if he thinks that the Bears could do it this year with Justin Fields. I think
you
that
want
would
to push
be awesome.
Fields' development along.
Yeah.
Allen Robinson and Julio Jones, and you're more likely to get Robinson to stay next year.
Yep, which he's already not happy that.
Can we just not though?
I know, for your sake, you're like, no.
Well, and the other one that was in the back of my head is if you're trying to keep Aaron Rodgers happy.
Oh yeah, I was gonna get there.
Yeah,
but I don't think they're gonna do that.
I don't think so either.
And it's funny because all these people who've talked about the Green Bay Packers organization are like, well, they need to do this and they need to do that. It's like, name any time.
They needed to do it for years.
Yeah, but name any time that they've ever actually made like a blockbuster trade. Like the Woodson trade they got at the tail end of his career and got the best out of him, right? Same with Tuck, I think it was as well.
No.
Or Peppers.
Peppers, yeah. They signed him after he left Chicago.
Yeah. There's a few of those players that makes sense for the Packers to go get after their veterans, right? But
J.J. Watt made sense, though, and look at that.
I mean, yeah. My thing is, though, is Green Bay, like ownership, which is just basically the stakeholders, know that as long as they have a quarterback in the saddle for when the old guy is done, it doesn't matter. We're good. We're fine. Because they need to keep that winning streak because the Green Bay Packers have never been irrelevant. They need to stay relevant. They never have these first overall picks and stuff. They're not drafting number 1 overall quarterbacks. They're not developing from the ground up. And if they ever had to do that, they lose their fan base for like 5 years. And they don't need that happening either because they live off of the fans. So I do agree that if they can get away with giving like a second rounder for Julio and you could pick up that contract and you want to make it work, sure. I don't think so. And then for fantasy, let's say it does happen. Okay. Oh, okay. Now all of a sudden, the person who's got Aaron Rodgers on that trade block, I'm sniffing it. I'm like, hey, I'll give you a second rounder for next year if I even have it. I don't have any picks, which is fine with me as well. I don't care because I also listened to a show that was like, people don't value future first round picks that well. And I'm like, okay, maybe I'll just start asking for those in picks because then in 2 years when I'm drafting 5 or 6 players out of the first round, everyone's like, shit.
Well, that's kind of why the one thing I'm glad about with that Stafford trade is, Goff, I mean, again, wait till we get into Pats, but he's looking really good so far. Just grasping the offense and getting in rhythm with these receivers and everything is looking really good.
Yeah.
But those 2 first-round picks as well. I know they're going to be late first-round picks, but at that point, it's essentially like having another top second-round pick. Like, or you can use them to trade up, or if this rebuild progresses faster than we thought, then you can trade those away for established guys.
Mm-hmm. I just don't know, man. It's one of the harder things for like our jobs here, like at the show, is when you hear a player is about to get traded, and especially when it's like Julio Jones, right? Like the DeAndre Hopkins thing, we didn't see coming, so we didn't even have like time to really, talk about where he could go, right?
Yeah.
This is like a huge one. Like we still maybe are completely wrong. Like it could be like all of a sudden the Buffalo Bills have traded for Julio Jones, which then I'd be like, wow.
Yeah. Give them the Super Bowl.
I'd be like, I don't want to play that at fucking all. That would be something where I'm like, okay, it's all or nothing for Josh Allen. And then all of a sudden, Kansas City, you would probably see them be like, okay, we signed Richard Sherman and we trade for this corner and we trade for this corner because we can't do it now. And even Cleveland would be like, fuck, what do we do? There's a few teams where you would want them to take that. I mean, fuck, even if Arizona did it. Imagine DeAndre Hopkins, Julio Jones, Rondale Moore, Christian Kirk, AJ Green.
Maybe Larry Fitz.
Maybe Larry Fitz. Just, man, screw
Good
that.
Lord.
Screw that.
You're going to see how well Kyler Murray can really play.
Yeah, and, a lot of people have actually talked about Kyler Murray not being that relevant in fantasy. And here's where I disagree. And this was another one I wanted to kind of bring up, is we're starting to get into this weird transition, guys. And this is kind of for all the new guys as well who have been listening to our show. And props to you guys. And we thank you very much. If you take any of our knowledge and it helps you win, that makes us feel really good. If you lose, no, we are not paying your entry fee into this stuff. So stop asking. But here's the other side of it. Some of these running quarterbacks are now a little bit more valuable than some of these, tail end running backs that are starters. So for example, like Sony Michel of a couple of years ago, Ronald Jones right now. I'm trying to think of another one here right off the top of my head. Any of the running backs really in Houston, those kind of guys where it is a running back by committee. There maybe not be a number one, or the number one isn't necessarily that great. In fantasy, some of these running quarterbacks now are becoming more valuable than those running backs. I know a lot of people already know that, but this is where it does become, a bit of a gamble. In the other league that I did, I had Kyler, and I had like no other running backs. I had James Robinson, Myles Gaskin, and nothing else. Just bad trades on my part and bad injuries. Kyler Murray kept me in contention where, the number one guy in our league who had all these running backs, right, is getting scared to play me because Kyler can put up 43 to 52 points. Yeah. It's that easy. Now, Justin Herbert came close, and, Josh Allen has done really, really well with him rushing in for touchdowns and just Herbert's pure yardage that he was putting up.
Yeah.
But now imagine if you could get Justin Herbert just to run for 8 or 9 carries a game. Imagine that Josh Allen consistently ran for 11 carries a game. This is something that you need to start looking at. Kyler Murray's value to some people is not that high. Lamar Jackson's value to some people is not that high. Even Jalen Hurts. These mobile quarterbacks that are coming in right now are going to be valuable to you, a dynasty owner, for at least 2 to 3 years because of the consistency that they can bring.
Well, and I take Murray over any of those three, just purely the fact that he is still an elite thrower while he's an elite runner. Like, he's a top pick in baseball.
Yeah.
Like, this dude can throw the ball all around the yard. Like, while he's running by you, like, he should be probably around, I'd say in that top 10 for dynasty quarterbacks.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Easily. Probably in that 5 to 10 range.
The only other rookie that's come up that I think me and Alex kind of both agree on that is going to get even close to Kyler is going to be Trey Lance when he actually learns the system in San Francisco with all the talent that he's going to be given. Patrick Mahomes does add that ability in there as well because He's in the Josh Allen category where it's just like a snicker of a tick down in that, the 1B class of eliteness for your dynasty quarterbacks. Josh Allen, Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, even Justin Herbert now, is they can run it a couple of times, but it's that overzealous amount of yards every game, the amount of touchdowns that they do bring and stuff like that. Patrick Mahomes is the outcry here, or the outlier, because he does run a little bit more and he still adds that yardage every game. But Lamar and Kyler and Jalen, these guys are going to be, and Trey, when he actually starts going, these are going to be guys that you want to start really considering, because it's like having another running back in a flex position.
I throw Fields in there too. He's sneaky athletic.
I think he's going to be in that 1B class at first for a bit until he starts figuring it out. Still, it is still outdoors for him. So just like Josh Allen there, I think it's going to be, you're going to have to scramble sometimes against some games or some teams, but most of those games you could probably throw because they think you're going to scramble. So you'll get another guy open anyway. Oh, there is the talk that people have said, what happens when Davis Mills starts in the Texans? Is there value to having Kellen Mond on your team? Is there any value to any of these quarterbacks that went into the second round? And I don't bring Kyle Trask into here because if you're a Bucs fan watching this show, you need to know Kyle Trask isn't starting for like 2 or 3 years. So he'll be available in 2 or 3 years as long as you don't have a taxi squad that puts a time limit on it. So we talk about Kevin Mond and Davis Mills here. A lot of people have reached out to us and asked, okay, which one of these guys would you rather have on your bench, Kellen Mond or Davis Mills? My take on it, I've already done this, is the Kellen Mond. I want the Kellen Mond project. I want the Kellen Mond project all day because they're drafting the wide receivers, they're drafting an O-line, they're getting prepared to get rid of Kirk Cousins, and they're starting to build a defense.
Cook back there.
Exactly, and he's on a nice contract.
A good tight end, and
it's built around him. And this guy, go back and watch.
He's a damn good college quarterback.
Oh yeah.
There's Texas A&M.
There's one video where he just launched that fucking thing like 80 yards, and it literally looked like he did nothing. And I was like, And Minnesota,
he's impressive.
Minnesota now gets to play indoors. So all those games that you've had in the past where winter has been an issue and this, that, and everything else, man, you don't have that anymore. We don't know how long it's going to take for him to come in. I think a year, and then Kirk Cousins is gone. And I think the reason why they extended him is just to make it easier that they could cut him or trade him. Yeah. But Kellen Mond is going to be coming in here soon. So I'm assuming you would go with the Kellen Mond over Davis Mills.
Oh, easily. Well, eh? Yeah. I just look, if you're looking just at pure talent, I'd still go Mond. I like Mond better than Mills. Yep. And that's not a knock on Mills at all. I actually really like Davis Mills too.
Yeah, me and him are very high on Davis Mills. We just need to figure out what the hell is going on in Houston first.
Yeah, I was like, A, the organization, B, the talent around him. Like, the talent. There's no way you can't go with Mond here, I don't think.
No, the talent around Houston, and then there's only one other thing that we were going to really bring up here, and that's the running backs of Houston before we were done for today. Kellen is going to have a lot of time. And Frazier, is it Frazier? Is the head coach there in Minnesota again?
Zimmer,
sorry. Is it Zimmer? Warren Zimmer? No, that was an old
Mike Zimmer.
Warren Zimmer I went to school with. Hi, Warren. Mike Zimmer is a hell of a coach. He's old, he's conservative, and we all know, like, if you just want to have a nice winning culture, you're going to get that. Now he gets to breed another young, really, really good quarterback. And this guy is not going to be throwing in the freaking winter. He's going to be throwing actual bombs in a dome. It's going to be beautiful. Yeah. But the last thing, we were going to talk about here is the Texans running backs. Is people are like, well, they got, David Johnson. And they got, I just lost his name.
Mark Ingram.
Thank you. Mark Ingram. And they got Phillip Lindsay. Which one of these guys are they going to go with? Is there any value in even taking one of these running backs? Well, for me, Mark Ingram, for Dynasty, you might get a year out of him if you have a bench spot, pick him up, enjoy it.
Yeah.
But if you're looking for youth and you're looking at Dynasty, Philip Lindsay is the one that you want to have because we don't necessarily know what he's going to be in that offense, but we knew what he was when he was given the same opportunity in Denver. Yeah. And he took it and he ran with it. Denver didn't have the money that they wanted to pay him. It's just fine. They knew that they had a chance of getting one of the younger running backs and like Javonte Williams and this, who the other one that was there, Michael Carter was around there. Kenneth Gainwell, that kind of stuff.
They were pretty much all there.
Yeah.
The only ones were Najee Harris and ETN that were taken.
Yeah, and everyone knew you're going to have to trade up to get one of those guys past Pittsburgh anyway. So
yeah.
With regards to the value, though, the value is there if you can get it without hindering your team. Because we are talking Dynasty, and bench spots are, you need to have good bench players. For mine, the other day when we were dropping players and we're trying to pick up new ones, like everybody's teams, they want to have as many rookies as they can. When you look at, for example, just a North Sports one, I had to make sure I had a couple of bench spots, even though I didn't even have that much depth because I had the 1, the 2. So I got Stevenson, the running back from New England, and I got Herbert from Chicago. My taxi squad, which we run 4, I got Yabio, Granson, which is the tight ends from New York Jets and Indianapolis, respectively. I got Puka Williams, and I got Kellen Mond on my bench. They're staying there because we don't know. I know for a fact that we're not going to see them for like a year. Yeah. And until I actually see something go on with Puka Williams, he might be the only option that I throw out of there. But when you have these bench spots, you need to make sure that you have respectable spots available because you never know who's going to become available. And Alex has even known, and I've known, I don't have depth on my team. I know that. So when Philip Lindsay became available, I had to really debate and say, okay, am I dropping a tight end? Am I dropping a running back? What am I doing? And I hindered myself because I now have Davin Cook. And what I used to have was, what's his name here? Kini Nwangu, whatever you say his name, his last name. He was the new running back that the Minnesota Vikings had drafted. So he was obviously going to be there if Dalvin Cook goes down. And I don't want to necessarily not have that. But at the same time,
I think Alexander Madison's still RB2 there.
He is. When an injury goes down like that, it would be the same thing that happens in Dallas. Madison would probably get the same job in Minnesota. Pollard would probably get it, obviously, if Ezekiel Elliott goes down. But when he needs a break, then they start giving looks to that second string, third string guy. That's when all of a sudden, if they even pop off a little bit, they're like, okay, more carries to that guy.
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
And Madison would be all of a sudden looking for a contract if he started playing good anyway. So then you start throwing the rookie in. Some teams are just, assholes like that. Minnesota can be. So personally, I would go with Philip Lindsay in that case. What do you got? Would you take Philip Lindsay in that, or are you more on
absolutely.
You're Philip Lindsay? Okay.
For me, Philip Lindsay, obviously it's going to be a rotation there. You've got, it's kind of like we said with Detroit. There's too many talented running backs to not have them play.
Yep.
David Johnson's just too injury prone. So use him in spurts to give Lindsay the rest and have Ingram be your short yardage, your goal line. Anytime you're running a power set, he's your power guy.
Yes.
Use the other two as your pass catching, your speed finesse guys, and let Ingram pound it down their throats.
Yeah, Ingram's going to be like your red zone, I think, as well. He'll be in there a couple of times. He's always been really good on that.
Look for him to have not many yards, but a lot of touchdowns.
Yeah, he'll be good if you can get him at tail ends of fantasy. Like if you're just talking one-year fantasy leagues, if you can get him with your last pick, if he's still there, I'd take him because you'll probably get those touchdowns. Get to some of the fans here before we get out of here. Hour and a half into the show. That's usually when we start dying it down.
Yeah.
Plus, we don't want to keep Alex too late because, he's got COVID and shit.
Oh, my God.
Falcons were in the NFC West for years. Every game was to California. I was thinking Julio to Jacksonville so they can sell more tickets and jerseys like they're doing with the and we've said that at work. The only reason I think Tebow is there is to sell those jerseys. And they're doing a pretty damn good job. Julio cannot complete a full season anymore. He will miss a month at some point. That's
why I said Baltimore. You've got all those young receivers. If he misses a few games, then these guys get to try and prove themselves and fight for playing time.
Yep. Johnny's still here. Thank you, Johnny, for tuning in. David Mosier, me and a couple people were talking. Do you think Julio, if he doesn't get what he wants, would retire? No. I don't think so. Only because, the franchise hasn't done necessarily wrong by him. Obviously, it was Shannon Sharp. He requested the trade. They know that the June 1st deadline, when that happens, you'll probably more than likely see him traded a couple of days after that or a couple of hours after that.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't – if he does not get traded, I think it would only be because ownership would probably convince him as well. Like, we could probably maybe compete here for 1 year. We just want Matt Ryan in this offense to get back to the way it was, and we'll see what the defense can do.
Or you tell him ball out and we'll try to trade you at the deadline. Like
trade you to a competitor, someone eat a little bit more cap. So Julio would be third in rotation in Baltimore, much like AB in Tampa. Bateman is going to be number 1. Brown is second right now. Julio would be in the slot.
I don't trust Brown to be your number 2 even.
Yeah,
I would say if Julio's going to be your third there, give me Sammy Watkins as your second.
Yeah.
I think Bateman and Julio would be 1A, 1B. Probably try to push Bateman as that 1A.
Yep.
But defenses are still going to cater to Julio as your 1A.
I also agree. He would just have to retire if they can't trade him. Otherwise, Julio would look like a fool. I also agree.
Yeah.
Still wants to play for a title and at least some money. He will take the best choice. Doubt he retires. I also do agree with that. I don't think he's going to retire.
No.
I don't think he's the type of player who's just going to go out and be like, I'll fucking retire if you don't trade me somewhere good. Biatch.
I think we would have heard that already.
Yeah. Andrew's going to go nuts trying to keep up with all these comments. Welcome to the big league, Andrew. And did you see me last night, buddy? I did pretty good. I made sure to get everybody out and just go through the comments and stuff. Alex, what do you think of the pennies? And then right under that, Matt Colson goes, had a bit on this an hour ago. Geez, Johnny.
So I'll refresh it. I think playing left tackle for so long as he has to switch to right tackle, it is difficult right off the bat because you're used to your stance and your hand placement and your kick sets and everything as that left side, and then you've got to go flip everything. It's natural for him to be struggling with it right now. Look at training camp for him to have no issues with it.
Yeah. And about Trevor having issues with red zone. Someone said he would. Patting myself on the back feels good sometimes. It's training camp. Are we going to take everything about Kyle Trask too, Johnny? Come on.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I heard you say last week, wait till the Pats come on. So
there you go. Matt Colson must have missed it while sharing. Yeah. We appreciate it for having you guys, though.
Yes.
If you are the Hardy Boys, then who is going to play the role as Lita? And I want pictures. There is a low-hanging joke there, Alex, that I bet you are – I am not going to say it, but oh, my God, if only I could. Only I could. My wife is Lita, and that's as far as I'm going with that. Which it would not work because she dated Matt. I don't even remember. Over under if Andrew gets back to comments inside or outside of 15 minutes. When did you say that? 12:17? Oh, wait, hold on.
We've been going for a couple minutes. It would be the under.
Oh, there you go. Andrew, I know you got the red hair, but you can't be
I saw that earlier, and I tried to just like stay even.
I should have had the picture of me in the dress ready.
Oh, just wait, it gets better.
Oh, dear, really? Have you seen his closet? Oh, God. That's why I told him he can't be.
I saw this all going on, and I'm like, oh, good God.
Matt needs to cut the grass. Appreciate you coming on there, Matt, as always.
Yes, absolutely.
With the receivers, Baltimore has added the elite defense and really good O-line, the tight ends and Dobbins. Lamar Jackson would be a great fantasy pick. He will get the points passing and running, probably be better than any other quarterback. I would still take Kyler. That's just my preference, but you do make Lamar
it
did
is
have
very
one.
Close.
Yeah, Lamar had one bad season. I don't think he's going to get any worse than what he was.
I don't even think it was that bad.
And it wasn't. He was still in history. I think he was still number 3 of running of mobile quarterback point per game of all time. And it was only behind Kyler, who I think got it number 2 this year. And then Lamar owned it number 1 anyway. And then Michael Vick is still number 4. And then Lamar again at 5 and so on and so forth. So enjoy that, bro. Viva Las Vegas. Viva Las Vegas. Viva. Okay. Hashtag go Bolts. Yep. Go against the Carolina anyway. Texans committee RBs. Ingram and their short yardage guy. He is still the best. Yep. We were talking about that. Do you think Deshaun Watson will play for the Texans this year or any other team? And if so, what do you think Roger Goodell is going to do with him? What do you think, Alex?
I don't think there's any way he plays for the Texans. As for playing this year, I don't think it's likely at this point. He might still, I think he's still on the Texans roster. He doesn't play. And then as for what Roger Goodell is going to do, unless something really comes out here, I don't think there's really much to do with him.
No, unless it actually fully comes out that he, did what he is being accused of doing.
And even if it's only a couple of them or whatever, if he still did it, suspend his ass.
Yep.
He should go to jail, all that.
Yep.
But if it comes out that he didn't do it and that he's been telling the truth the whole time, then obviously nothing should happen.
Like my mama even has been saying too, people lie. And a lot of things have been, misconstrued and subjected lately because of a push that we have been having to support females and stuff like that, right? I'm not saying that any of these women are lying or that any of the things that they are accusing Deshaun Watson are mistruthful. We just obviously have to wait until everything happens because we've seen it with other players where, an accusation has not been fully right. So we want to make sure everything is done first. So, but we do have to look at everything from both sides. Deshaun Watson is a young athlete, and these women are also very young business owners. So we do have to look at both sides of things. We are going to respect the women, and we are going to make sure that they are being taken care of and stuff like that as well.
Absolutely. I will say one thing, though, and I've said this across all cases. If it comes out that he didn't do anything and they're just trying to screw him, they should all be punished.
Listen, if it comes out that the Texans organization had something to do with this, I want that fucking owner gone.
Yeah.
I want him gone. You ruined someone's year. You ruined someone's paycheck. You have ruined the how he looks to the public eye. There's a word.
You search his name, this is the first thing that comes up.
Exactly. And so if we're saying again, if it does come out that this is all falsified and it does come out that the Texans had something to do with this and, falsifying these or, for the god awfulness that, maybe they paid off some of these girls and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Any of that comes out. Yeah. I want the owner gone. I want that lawyer gone, but I
want that organization stripped down and they can rebuild it with somebody else.
Yep. And I know if we're not going to get that with the Washington football team and the Washington football organization, it'd be hard to do that with the Houston Texans organization. But then there would need to be a push and be like, okay, I think all teams need to be swept clean and just taken a look at. Because you got the whole Robert Kraft thing that happened, and you got that. We posted an article about the whole Donald Trump paying off the Deflategate situation and and the Spygate situation. And this. So not every owner is clean. But also at the same time, too, there's probably some owners that should get more appreciation for how they run their organizations and how they help their players than some of these other teams that do.
I have an article coming out about that soon. I'm almost done with my team.
Perfect. Next Gen Stat says Shaq Barrett as the 8th most disruptive player in the NFL. Could definitely see that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even put him any higher just because he's perfect where he is situated right now. The 19.5 sacks that he got, it's not an outlier. And it's not just saying, oh, you only did that for one season. He probably could do it again. I'll fucking do it again. But I think he's got to be put in the right situation. They didn't know what he was capable of doing on a Bucs defense that was not even supposed to be close to what they were capable of. What was this here? Sorry, not a chance. His court date is late. NFL is investigating. Probably won't allow him to play until it's all resolved, which I also...
Nor should he be able to play until it's all resolved.
I forgot about Sammy Watkins. Yeah.
Okay, fair. Yeah.
To me, it sounds like typical Lions, just like the Bucs used to do, putting players in positions that don't fit their strengths. Bucs have been notorious for doing that in the past. So
I don't think it's something that doesn't fit his strengths per se, because you're still playing tackle. You're still using all the same skills, the same skill set, everything. Mm-hmm. You've just got to flip everything. It kind of confuses me when some people are like, oh, I can't play right tackle because I'm a left tackle. No, you're an offensive tackle.
Yeah, you're not. Yeah,
Just don't be lazy. Learn the footwork on the other side and all that.
yeah. I
Use
think
your talent still. Like it's not that hard.
like Alex is an offensive lineman at heart here, and I've
And
always
I
said
made the transition from left to right. Like,
yep. And Alex has played center, and Alex has played guard, left and right guard.
yeah.
If Alex was to get drafted, or if we do get an XFL, CFL team, hey,
Oh
Johnny,
my
I
God.
got it for you again. You know for a fact that me and Alex are going to go to open tryouts and see what we can do. We don't care how old we are and stuff. But I bet you any money they may actually like kind of walk up to Alex afterwards when we're just jokingly doing it on camera and be like, so like there is something here. Can we get you to like come in? And I'm gonna scream. I'm gonna be like, yes, yes, Alex. And I know there's gonna be nothing for me because I'm gonna just try and be like this Johnny Manziel white running quarterback, just fucking lob it as far as I can, and I can't even throw it that far. So, but we will try that if it ever happens, of course. Because Alex does have a lot of knowledge on the offensive lineman, and I think him getting Penei Sewell here is not only great for our show, is really great for him as well.
Oh, yeah.
So because he's got a lot of things that he could talk about here. Watson is out of here. I agree. Can't even hire a private happy ending anymore. I mean, you never know. I don't remember if I asked you or Ray last night, but what do the Buccaneer? What Buccaneer do you think will have the biggest impact on our team next year?
Ooh.
I think it's Devin White again. I think in order to command the defense and how elite that it needs to be, you need like a Darius Leonard or a Luke Kuechly or something like that just to run it. And if he takes the step and can get even close to the way that Levante David's brain works on that defense, there may not be any stopping this fucking defense. He's fast. He almost outran Tyreek Hill.
That was a lot of fun. Whole thing.
That was awesome. And yeah, that's just me.
To me, from the outside, I will take Vita Vea.
Oh, yeah.
Being that massive guy in the middle, athletic pass rusher that can still, in the run game and all that, take two guys, hold them in, let these linebackers run loose.
Yeah. Because if you let Vita Vea go up the middle, you guys are so dumb.
Oh, God, yeah.
So dumb. Flipping sides is just like learning to write with the opposite hand. I did that as a defensive tackle. Not easy at all when you do get it. You're still thinking about it. It is not natural.
And I agree with that. That's why I'm saying it's natural for him to struggle right now. But he's got the whole summer to work on it. So by training camp, I don't think there's any issues there. I think he'll be fine.
Oh, I think it's going to be one of our tight ends, like an OJ Howard, Cam Brate. Maybe Gronk will, come out and be Gronk again. 1,000 yards, 13 touchdowns. That would be funny. Biggest impacts on the Bucs defense is easy Vita Vea all day. Yeah, see, I think we're all in that. It's
going to be someone in the front seven
for sure. And also, if you can get the Buccaneers defense, if you can this year for your leagues. I'm never a guy that says to draft a defense. The only time you ever really wanted to go for defenses was, last year's Patriots, even the year before's Patriots, just to have them on your bench. 2017 Jaguars or 2016 Jaguars, you wanted to have that defense, of course. The Washington football team, for sure, you want this year, but you also really, really should go after the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense. If you're looking for a late round pick to steal you some points, you don't necessarily want to, just reach for like a Jesse Palmer or someone that you don't think is going to do anything until like the end of the season. If you can reach and you can grab yourself a defense, I would take the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense in the later rounds.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that has been the Playoff and Dynasty show. Next week, I'm not exactly sure. It would be kind of the same situation. We were going to do the Kraken breakdown, but we're not going to do that just yet. We are working also on our top 25 Dynasty players of the year going into the next season. We will update that on our site as soon as we're done. Write a couple of articles about it. We'll have a show about it.
Yeah.
We are going to be later on, once football starts coming back, we are going to be extending invitations out to a bunch of other shows, seeing if they want to start up a show league. I've talked to Bucks Report about it. Talked to a couple of other guys about it. So we might do show leagues where like me and Alex run a Dynasty league. A couple of guys at Bucks Report might run the Dynasty league. A couple of other shows might do that. So we're going to reach out. We're going to see some guys out there, see what we can do, and we're going to make content on that. Me and Alex will also do some mock drafts here where me and him will just give each other random picks. We'll start doing mock drafts just so you guys can start seeing where some of these players are being drafted and what players are being considered at certain positions, because we do want to get you guys ready for the upcoming season, because we do appreciate when you choose us to be your fantasy football sources for your knowledge. Johnny Dean says, I had Bucks defense last year. They gave me more points than the Ravens. Ended up keeping Purple on the bench. Yes, sir.
Damn, to have both those defenses.
That would have been nice. Yeah. Damn, Andrew, I just realized you're going to be a busy man this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Yes, sir. And the white, kids are still napping. I got the beautiful fiance right here in front of me. She's been, just chilling on her phone. Doesn't take too much out of my time. Kids will be awake here and I'll go hang out with them. But yeah, I do like doing all these shows. I like having Alex on this show because we actually get to cuss and swear. And then all of a sudden when we get invited on other shows, we're like, okay. We can't swear on the cheap seats, like I do allow 2 on the cheap seats. I know Rick was like, oh, you smart. Bye. I do give you 2. But we also, I like to keep the variety. I like to go on these different shows and stuff. I'm even considering doing like not a sports show, but like just a rated R content show where I talk about some of the shit I grew up with, like Thunder Bay, and I bring up some old friends and we talk about some old situations that people would be like, oh, okay then. It would definitely be for particular people in particular tastes, but I am considering a bunch of different stuff. But just know that the first 2 things that always come first will always be North Sports Dynasty and will be Bucks Report, because I do appreciate what they do for us.
Yes, absolutely.
Alex needs to be on more Bucks Report shows. Damn it. Need to get him on Friday nights.
I got all the time in the world now, Johnny.
Yeah, I'll probably extend the invitation, obviously, to you tomorrow. Bucks Report late nights on Friday nights.
I'll be there.
Perfect. So then, there you go, Johnny. Alex will be on. You can talk your Panay Sewell, talk with him, and your chirp his Lions all over.
We can finally discuss Harbaugh.
Yeah, that's true. I'd give it a little Harbaugh corner there. Also, remember to send in any of the stupid Bucks memes, any funny memes and stuff like that, because we do like to have the meme grinder, which Matt gave it a good name. I think it's called the Goulash. I think we're going to call it the Goulash here soon. So
okay.
Alex, tell everybody where they can find you.
Just simply Alex Loosemore on Facebook, at Loosemore65 on Twitter, and the North Sports pages across Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. You know where it is.
Yeah, and then same thing with me, Andrew_Faubert on Twitter, Andrew Faubert on Facebook, and then just like Alex, we're on those North Sports Dynasty pages all the time, trying to post as much content as we can. Alex will be doing a little bit more so than I am, which is I'm not coming down and being like, listen, wait, hold on. I'm not coming down on him hard, being listen, you son of a gun, I need you to write article after article. No, I am a gracious guy. And I say, Alex, do what you can when you can.
As soon as you looked over, I was like, oh, here we go.
Yeah, I knew. As soon as you started laughing, I was like, he knows exactly where I'm going. I wanted to post that. I am a gracious guy.
No, I've got a couple ideas in the works here. Just gotta get them rolling. So this is definitely the 2 weeks to get it going.
Perfect. Yeah, and then I'm gonna have some things coming up here soon. Alex actually writes more, say, family appropriate content, whereas if people have ever listened or read any of my articles, they know that I usually open it up with like, Marilyn Manson's getting fucking accused of shit, isn't he? This has nothing to do with football, but let's get into this. Top 10 draft picks of the year. I love doing that. I've had people message me and be like, I love how your intros have nothing to do whatsoever with any of your articles, but please keep it up. And I'm like, I will try that. So appreciate everybody.
Yes, absolutely.
I hear your baby crying, so
that ain't mine. So. Somebody needs to deal with their kid outside.
So yeah, we're gonna get out of here. I'm gonna go make sure my kids are still napping, which I just got the thumbs up that they are. I'm gonna go eat something and obviously take my medication and talk some more sports here later on. We appreciate everybody here again. Yes. Thank you for tuning in, and we will be back next Saturday for episode 13. Man, we're 12 episodes done.
It seems like just yesterday we started season 3. Like,
I know.
This is awesome.
I think we're almost. Oh, we did what 8.5 hours for the draft thing. All of our shows average about an hour and a half, so we're almost at a whole like day of shows, man.
Yeah.
This is nice, and it's all because of you, the fans out there. Wouldn't be doing this without you guys.
All these comments and everything makes it so much fun.
I know. Having every fan just pop in, even for a little bit, dropping a couple of comments. They know that they can come here, talk sports, and drop any funny comments that they want.
Oh, yeah.
We always have a blast with it. So thank you guys again. We'll talk to you next Saturday. Until then, ciao, ciao, ciao.